Hi, I'm Maralee Caruso from CTV News Winnipeg, and this is my dog, Jack. Jack is actually a rescue dog from the Humane Society. We've had him for about 4 years now, and he is such a joy in our lives. Look at how comfortable. He loves belly rubs, by the way. Jack and I just had a really long walk, which is what we love to do before bedtime. And now we've climbed into bed and we're going to read a story. And we're glad that you're here to join us for it. This is part of the C Spot Read program, which is a great program. It allows kids learning to read to practice by reading to dogs. And there's nothing Jack loves more than a good bedtime story before he goes to sleep for the night. Look at how comfortable Jack is waiting for his bedtime story. Hey, Jack? You're going to fall asleep before we even start. But here we go. Today, before bed, we are reading The Dog Ate My Homework. Jack, you wouldn't eat homework, would you? So here's some of the pictures of the first page. You ready, Jack? Hey, you ready for the story? Oh, and you want pets while I read. Stevie was always making excuses why he never did his homework. He would come up with all kinds of reasons, like he left it on the school bus, left it at home, left it in another pair of pants, left it on the kitchen table, lost it on the way to school, or his baby sister tore it up. Needless to say, Stevie wasn't doing too well in school. As a matter of fact, he was failing. Both his teacher and parents were tired of all of his lame excuses, especially the most absurd one of them all. The dog ate my homework. This new excuse did not sit right with Sylvester, who happened to be the most lovable sheepdog. It's true that he did like to chew up paper, but he would never chew up Stevie's homework. Sylvester did not like being blamed for something he didn't do. He decided to teach Stevie a lesson. If the day ever came that Stevie really did do his homework, he would eat it. Stevie needed to learn a lesson the hard way. And there's his sheepdog. Mrs. Clemens, Stevie's teacher, set up a conference with Stevie and his parents and advised them that he was going to stay back and not get promoted to the third grade. Enough was enough. Stevie, said Mrs. Clemens, we all know you're a very smart boy, but you never do your homework. Stevie promised Mrs. Clemens and his parents that he would start doing his homework faithfully every day. Well, if you really mean that, I will give you just one more chance, said Mrs. Clemens. That night, Stevie did his homework and left it on his desk. The next morning, when he woke up and glanced at his desk, he noticed that his homework was missing. How could that be? He was sure he had left it there, but now it was gone. Oh no, he thought, no one will believe me. He searched all over the house, but he couldn't find it. Stevie was frantic. The first time he did his homework, and it disappeared. There's Stevie doing his homework, and there's him panicking when he can't find it. Just in case you're wondering, I think the story might have put Jack to sleep already, but we'll keep reading. Stevie went to Sylvester and cried, have you seen my homework? Sylvester smugly said, yes, I did. I ate it, as he raised his paw to his mouth and let out a huge burp. Why would you do that? Asked Stevie, quite stunned. I was upset that you blamed me last time for something I didn't do. Stevie started to panic and said, now what do I do? I've used that excuse before and it didn't work. No one will believe me. I won't pass. I need my homework. You should have thought about that before you used me as your excuse. But I never thought you really would eat it, said Stevie. If that's true, why would you think anyone else would believe you? It seemed okay at the time, said Stevie. What about now? Asked Sylvester with one eyebrow raised. Kinda dumb, Stevie replied softly with his head down. Suddenly, he thought of his teacher and said, "Boy, am I in trouble. Big, big trouble." Sylvester told Stevie to try and tell his teacher the truth. Jack, you're really relaxing, eh? Yeah. Stevie went to school and Mrs. Clemens asked for everyone's homework. "Stevie, where is yours?" she asked. "My dog ate it to teach me a lesson," he answered. "Stevie, do you realize what this means? You are going to stay back. I told you no more excuses." "But this isn't an excuse," Stevie cried. "This time it really is the truth. My dog Sylvester was mad that I blamed him last time for eating my homework when he really didn't. So he decided the next time I did do my homework, he would eat it." "Do you expect me to believe that story, Stevie? I will not accept that outrageous excuse." "Do I make myself clear?" Mrs. Clemens said firmly. "It's the truth, I swear it," exclaimed Stevie. "I'm sorry, Stevie. I can't believe a word you say." Mrs. Clemens replied. Stevie could hear her mumble under her breath, "The dog ate my homework. How ridiculous." Stevie was very upset and went home crying. "Sylvester, the teacher doesn't believe me. What am I going to do now? Please help me." "Oh, Sylvester, I really need your help." Sylvester thought about it for a minute. "I have an idea," he said. "What is it?" asked Stevie. Sylvester smiled broadly. He really was so cute. "Please tell me," Stevie begged. "Okay," said Sylvester. "I'll pretend that I'm sick so that your parents will have to take me to the dog hospital. Once I'm there, they'll want to x-ray my stomach. This way your parents will be able to see that you really are telling the truth. We must hurry, though, because it won't stay in my stomach forever." Sylvester did quite an acting job, and within moments they were at the dog hospital. The doctor told them that Sylvester was fine and didn't need an x-ray. Stevie panicked and said, "Oh, but he does." Sylvester started to moan and groan and hold his stomach. He looked like he was in a lot of pain. "See how terrible he feels?" Stevie pleaded with the doctor. "You've got to help my dog." The doctor was puzzled because his examination showed that nothing was wrong with the dog. Now, though, the poor animal seemed almost crazed, and the doctor started to question whether he had missed something. Stevie said quickly, "I believe he ate something he shouldn't have." "What was it?" questioned the doctor. Stevie sighed. "You won't believe me if I told you anyway." "Give it a try, son. I've heard them all." "Not this one you haven't," Stevie mumbled under his breath. "What was that?" asked the doctor. "Just give him one x-ray and you'll see for yourself what's inside. Please hurry, there isn't much time." The doctor rolled Sylvester onto his back and then slid the x-ray machine over him. Sylvester winked at Stevie, whose brow was now dripping with sweat. The doctor took the x-ray and disappeared from the room. He returned with a serious look on his face and said, "Your dog is suffering from a very rare illness." Sylvester and Stevie looked at each other in total shock. "What is it?" Stevie asked. The doctor replied, "In all my years of practicing medicine, I have never seen such an unusual case. We don't even have a name for it in the medical books." Stevie and Sylvester were scared, but they listened intently. "But," the doctor goes on, "if I could give this disease a name, it would be homeworkitis." A puzzled Stevie responded, "Homeworkitis?" "No," the doctor replied and repeated, "it's homeworkitis. I'll put the x-rays up on the screen and show you what I mean." They all had a big laugh, and Stevie and Sylvester breathed a sigh of relief. Look, you can see all of his homework. Stevie's parents contacted Mrs. Clemens, and she arrived immediately at the hospital to grade the homework. When she was finished, she said, "Sorry I didn't believe you, Stevie, but the story was so crazy, it was hard to believe. Keep up the good work, and I will be happy to send you on to the third grade." Stevie said gratefully, "Oh, thank you, Mrs. Clemens, and thank you, Sylvester. I will never blame you for anything again. Boy, I really have learned my lesson." And there you can see everybody happy. The end. Jack, what did you think of the story? Did you like the story? You say hi to everyone? Jack loves bedtime stories. So if you need some practice reading, practice to your pet, or maybe take part in the C-Spot Read program. That's it. Jack and I are gonna go back to sleep, eh, Jack? Have a good night. Thanks for reading a story with us. Say bye-bye, Jackie. Oh, he's laying back down.